Okay, here's warm-up number 8.2. Got two triangles that are similar here, and we want to solve for x. So what you want to do is write a proportion. So I'm going to find two sides where I know the measure of both sides, and two corresponding sides. So in this case, that would be the 6 and the 10, and you can probably just tell that those would be corresponding sides by looking at them, but you could also tell by their location. So it's between the one swoosh and the two swooshes over here. The same location between one swoosh and two swooshes over there is the 10. So those are matching pieces, okay? And then I want to match the x up with something, and the big question is, do I match it up with a 15 or the 18? And you can figure that out in the same kind of way if you look at the position compared to the angle. So I've got the two swoosh angle and the one with no marks, okay, where the x is. And then if I look in the other triangle, two swooshes, here's the angle with no marks, so the 15 is in that same position. Or you can think it's across from the one swoosh in both triangles. So the x is going to match up with the 15. I don't actually need the 18 at all to solve this. It's kind of a distractor. Okay, so I can now say that 6 should be to 10 as x is to 15, because in similar triangles, the sides will be in proportion. 6 is to 10 as x is to 15. Okay, and you can cross multiply right there if you like, or you could reduce the 6/10. Those are both even numbers. I can divide them both by 2 to get 3/5. And then cross multiply from there. But yeah, if you didn't reduce, it doesn't really matter. You should get the same result. So let's see. 5x is going to equal 3 times 15. 3 times 15 is 45. Divide by 5, and x is going to equal 9. Okay. All right. Problem number 2. So here I'm solving for x, y, and z. So let's start with x. So I'm looking at x, and I've got similar figures here too. It tells me that they're similar. So x, you can probably see again visually that that's going to match up with the 6. But to really check it, if you look at AB, that's the first two letters, and that's the top of this figure here. First two letters here, so it should match up with EF. And hey, that's EF. So yeah, those do match up. Okay. And then I want to find, I want to use a proportion, but I want to use two pieces where I know the measure of both of them, and that's going to be the 15 and 10. If I use these two, I'm missing one of them. So, you could write a proportion with these 4 pieces, but you'll have 2 variables, and you won't be able to solve it. But I can say x is going to be to 6 as 15 is to 10. These would be matching pieces. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. X is to 6 as 15 is to 10. You could reduce the 15/10 if you like, or you can just go straight to cross multiplying. I think I'll reduce. So 5 goes into both of those. If I divide the top and bottom by 5, I'll get 3/2. And then cross multiply. 2x is going to equal 18. Divide by 2, and x equals 9. Okay. Solving for y is the same kind of thing, except I'm going to use these two pieces. So the y is going to match up with the 24. Again, I could set these equal to x over 6. Now that I know x, that would actually work. But I'm going to use these and these. So I'm going to say 24 is to y as 15 is to 10. And again, you can reduce the 15/10 if you like. I'm going to do that, but it's not necessary. You can get by without doing that. Okay, then I just have smaller numbers to work with though. So then 3y will equal 48. And I'll divide by 3. And I'm going to get 16 for y. Okay, and now solving for z, the last piece. So it's tempting to do the same kind of thing that we did on the last two problems. It's tempting to say, 28 is to, well, that's going to match up with the z, right? 28 is to z as 15 is to 10, but this is actually wrong. That's incorrect, okay? And the reason why is because the sides are in proportion, but the angles in similar figures are going to be congruent. So once you find that those are matching pieces, they're just going to be congruent, and you don't actually have to write a proportion. Z is just going to equal 28, and that's it. Okay, and that's the end of the warm-up, and I'll see you next time.